Итак, всем привет, дорогие друзья, с вами я, Тур 391, и мы продолжаем проходить Genshin Impact и новую область названа. Итак, ждем 2 дня, как говорится, свет, камера, мотор. Я.
Paimon feels like a whole new Paimon after those 2 days in the hot springs. The Abyss kind of threw a wrench in our relaxation, though. Still, spending time here really has felt like a vacation. The Kaholasaurs are so nice and so fun to play with. Their bellies are super bouncy. Oh, and Atea's snacks were so delicious. She gave Paimon some for the road just this morning, actually. Yelling at some kids who got caught throwing stones in the hot springs, so not much has changed since.
Hey, you guys! Sleep well last night?
Yep, this area is so.
Glad you like it. I was thinking of taking you guys out to do some sea fishing.
Hey, Mualani!
Yeah? What do you need?
The team sent out to fight in the Night Warden Wars has returned.
And Kachina? Is she back as well?
Kachina fell in battle.
Чё?
But don't worry, the team was victorious, so the rite of resurrection will be held in the...
That's a relief. The Abyss is cunning, and it was her first time. Mistakes are bound to happen.
Exactly. She deserves to hold her head.
Alright, thanks for letting me know. What? Jeez, she sounded a little anxious there. Had me thinking it was bad news for a moment.
Mualani, you said the Abyss was cunning just now. Like, think about all those monsters that attacked your tribe. If there really was some sort of cunning plan, not that...
Relax, I get it. The Abyss is difficult to understand, that's for sure. At a glance, it certainly seems like the only goal is total destruction. The Abyss isn't a living entity after all, so what capacity for logic or planning could it possibly possess? But through our long history of fighting the Abyss, 500 years ago, the Abyss invaded Teyvat. That's right. Conria suffered greatly during that time, and Natlan was the worst affected of all. It took the combined efforts of the then Pyro Archon and heroes from every tribe. Even so, the effects of the invasion lingered for hundreds of years, only able to be reversed little by little. Our tribe's waters were contaminated. The Children of Echo's territory was overrun by dangerous sludge surging from underground. Unrelenting, it was like each disaster was designed for a specific tribe. Exactly. We now believe the Abyss has invaded the Night Kingdom, and has the capacity to read the memories of this land at any given.
And that's how it became so dangerous and cunning. Almost like it knows you inside and out.
Yes, and that's why we've been unable to fully eradicate it, even after all this time. Luckily, the problems left behind by the Abyss have been successfully addressed by the various Pyro Archons we've had over the years. Now every tribe is prospering and things are looking up. I mean, just look at what we managed to do a few days ago. We totally fought them off.
You must have had to sacrifice a lot to get to this point.
Every battle, every sacrifice is responsibility, duty, unavoidable burden. But I believe we will be rid of the Abyss one day. And the efforts of all to think that my name could survive in ballads passed down to future generations. It's kind of romantic. Everyone has something that drives them forward, you know? Be my guest. Heroes are always welcome in Natlan. Anyway, let's head to the stadium. Our fishing trip can wait until Kachina's back with us. The sea's not going anywhere.
Ну что ж, путь. Так, на стадион.
Whoa, this place is packed already.
Of course. No one's gonna miss out on the chance to welcome our heroes back from battle. Kachina's gonna be so flustered. She's never had this many eyes on her before.
Yeah, she doesn't seem like the kind of person who likes being the center of attention.
Looks like I'm just in time.
Kanich, you're here!
Yeah, a commission ran longer than expected, but I made it. I heard about the incident with your tribe, Mualani. Is everyone all right?
Yeah, it's all taken care of. Our new friend here's got some tricks up his sleeve, by the way. He's just as strong as Kachina made him out to be.
Hey, look! Is it about to start?
That's right. Someone will come out and recite a eulogy, and then come on, let's find a spot with a good view. When the singing starts, just follow my lead and you'll be fine. Let's go somewhere higher up so Kachina can spot us.
Warriors of Natlan, heed the call of life. We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and... That is Natlan's fire, the lifeblood of our nation.
Ну вот это туфельки.
I could not find Kachina within the Night Kingdom, or locate her ancient name.
What?
What does that even mean?
Usually once the ode is complete, the Pyro Archon and resurrected person will emerge from the...
What's going on? This has never happened before.
Well, I think it's pretty obvious. Clearly, the team sent to fight the Abyss didn't win after all. Think about it. The Ode rekindles all victors. We've witnessed it countless times. Since the Archon couldn't find Kachina in the Night Kingdom, that must mean there's more to this victory than meets the eye.
Hey! You just haven't gotten over the fact that Kachina beat you in the pilgrimage!
Pathetic. The both of you.
Your wild guesses are misplaced. We completed our mission.
Maybe you did, but who's to say whether that little girl even contributed at all? Maybe she got scared and ran off. Why would the YUB recognize someone like her, even if she was on the winning team?
Дайте мне ему вмазать, вот честное слово.
How dare you insult a hero of Natlan like that? Kachina sacrificed herself to repel the Abyss. She doesn't deserve to be subjected to your vile rumors when she's not even here to defend herself.
Там разок еще щурится.
Calm down, Mualani. There's no point arguing with the likes of them.
Мало ли, давай, не делать, прям вертухи ему.
I can't just sit here and let them slander her like that.
To insult a hero of Natlan, the person actually has to be a hero.
Да что ты такое говоришь-то, а?
You...
Think about it, everyone. Who do you think is really at fault here? Or the great Pyro Archon? Why would the rules of our nation suddenly stop working?
Ты еще и Архонта зацепить сюда выдал, чего?
That's true. If she wasn't revived, it must mean she failed to achieve victory. Maybe the Wyab interpret victory in different ways?
I mean, that girl didn't look all that strong to me.
А пусть и не выглядела. Какая разница? Ее же избрали. Первый Архон задумалась. Она не переключает этот беспорядок.
Kachina wouldn't have run! That's not like her at all!
No,
Правильно.
she's been waiting for this moment for too long.
Правильно.
No matter how daunting the situation, no matter how scared she might feel, she's always the first person to stand up and face it head on. We don't even know what happened. So don't you dare try to use this as an excuse to vent your anger or slander her reputation.
Туда, правильно, туда его.
Fine. We'll find out what happens soon enough. Then, we'll see who truly deserves glory.
That's enough. There is no doubt about today's victory, or Kachina's part in it. She is a hero worthy of our... However, the failure of today's ceremony is undeniable. Kachina has not been rekindled, and I offer you all my deepest apologies to prevent further casualties. I have decided to suspend the pilgrimage until this matter is...
What?
Ну чё, сладкий, додвинулся?
No one is all-knowing. No one is infallible. But doubt is a means by which we seek the truth. Not a weapon we wield against others.
Правьте ему просто мозги.
I didn't mean it that way, Archon.
Поздно отмахиваться, всё.
If there are things you wish to clarify, then ask me directly. Doubt my answer if you wish. But now's your chance. You have concerns?
Туда его, правильно, туда его. Он сам не стал.
No, of course not.
Вот и все, молчите в тряпочку. Ого.
Even though I have said nothing to change your mind, then it would seem the truth never mattered to you at all.
That guy doesn't even have the courage to answer the Pyro Archon's question. So much for all that glory talker.
I have a question, Archon. My friend Kachina. Do you have any idea where she is? I know you said you were investigating the situation, but I'm sorry, that's not enough.
I've already shared everything I know. If you want to learn the truth and rescue your friend sooner, you should join the investigation. So, what do you say?
Of course I'll join.
In that case, come see me in the speaker's chamber.
We should join them.
Oh, and if it's not too much trouble, could you drop by as well, Traveler? I'd like to have a chat.
Персона, окей.
Rest assured, everyone, I'll keep the tribal chiefs informed on the progress of the investigation. Once again, I apologize for the outcome of this ceremony.
Did she just ask us to come along?
I believe she did. Let's go. I'd like to know what's going on myself.
The situation is urgent, so I'll get straight to the point. Kachina is undoubtedly a hero of Natlan, and I'm deeply sorry this happened to her. There's been unrest in the Night Kingdom, but I don't know what's causing it. As a result, I've been unable to track down her location. Until we find and address the cause of the unrest, the Ode of Resurrection will continue to be ineffective.
And that means Kachina won't be able to come back?
That's correct. Not until the problem with the Night Kingdom is
How long will that take?
It's hard to say.
Kachina always dreamed of fighting the Abyss. She wasn't afraid of death because she knew, if it came down to it, the Pyro Archon would be there to bring her back to life. Whenever we sat down together, exhausted from training, she would always hum the Ode of Resurrection. She was supposed to come back to us. We were supposed to hug her and celebrate with her and share her joy. We supported her every step of the way, but what are we supposed to do now? Sit peacefully and wait for her return? Lose ourselves in grief over her death? Tell me, are we her friends? Or her murderers?
Малани, не надо, пожалуйста. Вернется она, вернется.
That's not fair, Mualani.
It's all right. I understand your rage and your grief. Kachina's life means a great deal to me, Mualani. Believe me, I want to bring her back as soon as possible. I would give you that peace of mind if I could, but please, hear what I have to say so I can at least give you a broader pic. Considering the recent attack on your tribe, I believe the Abyss has found a new means of undermining the rules of our nation.
You mean...
The Sacred Flame. The foundation of our resistance against the Abyss. If we continue to hold the pilgrimage and send teams to fight the Abyss, there will likely be more casualties. But if we stop altogether, the Sacred Flame will only grow weaker. The Abyss will scale up their attacks, and the tragedy...
If we compare the two choices... Sorry, I know that may sound harsh, but I bear the name Malipo. Weighing the costs is my duty. The raw truth can be cruel. But we need to understand it if we want to approach this.
But what would you say, Mualani? This is personal for you. And unlike Kanich, I dare say it's not a simple case of weighing up which...
No. I can't choose between them, and I don't want to. Saying that one is preferable over the other is disrespectful to the people who suffered.
You're saying it doesn't matter whether I suspend the pilgrimage. The consequences will be equally painful.
Yes. What happened to Kachina breaks my heart. But I couldn't bring myself...
And that is the crux of the problem. It's not simply a matter of either way, there will be people who suffer. And the end result will be the same. Belief in the pilgrimage will waver. Once doubt has crept in, the people will no longer unite in battle against the Abyss. Their ultimate goal isn't to break the rules that make the Ode of Resurrection work. It's to prevent what happened to Kachina from happening to anyone else. We need to suspend the pilgrimage. So that is my current plan. Then, we have to find another way of strengthening the Sacred Flame to keep the Abyss at bay. I understand your anger, Mualani, but I hope that provided some clarity, at least.
Wow. Hyman thought things were gonna get heated for a second, but the Pyro Archon took the time to...
I owe you an apology, Archon. I let myself get carried away earlier, and I'm sorry. You're right. We
could always hold the pilgrimage without sending a team to...
I've considered that, but the two events have nearly always been linked. Without the chance to fight the Abyss, pilgrimage ranking with fewer participants, the amount of contending fire produced will decrease, and the vicious cycle will continue indefinitely.
So, essentially, the Abyss has taken Kachina hostage.
You've learned about the concept of ley lines during your travels, yes? The Night Kingdom is something similar. Staying there for a short period of time shouldn't have an effect on your sense of self will be devoured, until eventually, imagine pouring a cup of water into a rushing river. You can try to scoop up and I won't sugarcoat it. That is the danger Kachina is
Just like you said, Archon. Both of these problems, you can focus all your efforts on dealing with the Sacred Flame. I will go search for Kachina.
The Abyss poses the same threat to you as it does to her. It is very possible you will not return.
Kachina's waiting for us to rescue her. That's all that matters.
I failed to protect her during our campaign, but I can make it up to her now. I choose...
Traveler? What do you think?
Я обещал, что она сможет учиться у меня.
Understood. Then I'll support you in any way I can. The Masters of the Nightwind have a technique that can extract an ancient name from the ley lines. If we can find Kachina's ancient name, I can use the link between them to pinpoint her. Then comes the hard part. You need to visit the Night Kingdom in person and rescue her.
But isn't the Night Kingdom a land of souls?
Under normal circumstances, only the consciousness can enter. But there is, however, know that the Night Kingdom will attempt to repel you.
It's fine by me.
Same here. Fighting the Abyss is nothing new for me.
Это не проблема.
So, Paimon's the only one who's scared? Well, if you're a going traveler,
Seat Lolly of the Masters of the Nightwind once created an artifact that can be used to communicate with the Wyab. We call it the Spirit Speaker. It was originally used as a ceremonial artifact wielded by the tribal chiefs. But
That was the artifact I delivered to the Scions of the Canopy a few days ago. Didn't think I'd be hearing about it again so soon.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone.
your thanks are unnecessary. I will offer you whatever aid I can, but your fellow... Besides, you're the ones helping me. I can only focus on one thing at a time. Traveler, I certainly didn't expect our first conversation. I've heard all about your accomplishments. Ever since you arrived, I've been hoping to meet you and offer you Natlan's highest level of...
why?
Why? Is that not what happened in the other nations you visited?
Долго объяснять.
Things were pretty complicated at the start. And, you know, in the middle.
That's more like it. After all, I've heard you're someone who transcends fate.
Ты довольно много знаешь обо мне.
Perhaps even more than you can imagine. But we can talk about that some other... Ideally, this would be the perfect night for a drink and some musical ambiance.
Oh, I almost forgot. Atea was wounded in the fight against the Abyss. It embodies fond memories and my strength of will. That's what she asked us to tell you.
I didn't think this day would come so soon. The flames of her life force. If things were different, the two of us could have enjoyed the hot springs together while she gave this to me in person. We're supposed to be hot spring buddies after all.
Не, мы собираемся спасти Качина или нет, я тебя тут разребусь.
But don't worry. This talisman means a great deal to me. I'll take good care of it. And once this is all...
You said you didn't want to jeopardize the production of contending fire. But that's not at all why you decided to...
You're right. Even now, the production of contending fire is the gradual corrosion caused by the Abyss has resulted in a massive shortage of pyro energy. And we're currently at the breaking point, as things stand. The pilgrimage is a lost cause. Suspending it allows us to save our strength. The Abyss has brought catastrophe to Natlan. And Kachina's disappearance in the Night Kingdom is a direct consequence of that.
We can't let the general public know that.
No. If the public learned that Natlan's destruction was close at hand, but if I said nothing at all, they would have continued to question the integrity of Natlan's heroes.
Another simple choice. The latter was clearly the better solution. But you chose otherwise.
I have never subscribed to the belief that the right choice is the one with the fewest sacrifice. Let's go. There's still a way for the sacred flame to last a little longer.
You mean?
Yes. Come with me.
Чувствую, скоро
The
будет
sacred
вечер.
flame must never go out. Not only does it strike fear in the Abyss, but it's also the pillar of Natlan's stability. So until our heroes are ready, I will sacrifice my power to keep...
But that can only last so long. I think we should focus on the remaining ancient name-bearers.
Don't let desperation cloud your judgment. Those chosen by the Wyab have already embarked on their destined path. It is for them to decide how that journey ends. All we can do is support them.
Even so, for you to make this sacrifice, it's not right.
If not me, then who? No other is capable of sustaining the sake. I possess great strength, but I'm not above my people. This is part of my duty.
Archon, it's the Fatui!
Опа. А вы чё пришли?
The Archon of Natlan. A force to be reckoned with.
Номер
The
один.
secret of the ley lines is no secret to me. Long have they been destined for ruin. And since the oath made 5 centuries ago remains unfulfilled, what use is the Gnosis in your hands?
I don't know what you mean. But it sounds like this is about more than the Tsaritsa.
In times of crisis, someone must pick up the mantle of salvation. Your plan has reached an impasse, and now it falls to me to create new rules for Natlan. But before the dawn of a new age, the old must be destroyed.
А ладно.
I assume that's the end of your speech? Good. People like us? Let our blades do the talking!
Давай. И... Ау. Я не так стараюсь, будто малыка и не получится. А с чего это вдруг капитан летать научился? А давай, 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 давай. А вы там что внизу стояли? Держись. Сбежал.
Masters of the Night Wind. Send word. The captain and his followers must be apprehended.
Are you alright, Archon?
He was a formidable opponent. Exactly what I would expect from the first of the Fatui Harbinger.
I never imagined someone could match you in combat. If the Tsaritsa sent him here, why would he bring up what happened 5 centuries ago?
Yeah. And how much does he know about—
The Harbingers are all driven by their own personal goals. The only purpose that unites them is collecting the Gnosis, but I'm sure the captain has his own reasons for being here as well.
Whatever his motive, we should shift our focus to the Fatui. If they attack again, and we're not prepared, we're done for.
No, we're running out of time. The wound I inflicted should hold him back and weaken him for the time being. Besides, I'm sure you noticed, the power that came to his rescue just now came from the Masters of the Night.
In other words, there are traitors among us.
Not necessarily. This could prove to be a very valuable turn of events. When we exchanged final blows, I sensed an unusual presence within him. I'll need to investigate further. Kenichi, Go to the Masters of the Night Wind and look into who could have aided the captain. Speak to Seat Lali. She should know.
Of course, I'll head out right now. Do you still intend to...
Yes, but fear not. Natlan's strength has never rested solely in its Archon. Together we foresaw the only path that leads to our nation's future. We must...
Is everything okay, Archon?
Completely fine. Just lamenting the fact that I never got a picture when I could still turn my hair into flames. Too late now.
Одна на свою морковь.
I just hope the others have a safe journey.
What's happening at the stadium? Did something explode?
It feels like the Archon unleashed her power.
Should we go back and check what's going on?
Качин не так много времени
Have faith in the Archon. She wouldn't lose in a one-on-one confrontation.
Once we find Kachina's ancient name, we'll head right back.
Okay, let's just keep climbing. Emon really hopes nothing goes wrong.
Так, сейчас подождите пару секунд, пожалуйста. Итак, мы продолжаем. Так, вот там. Потом куб крона. Окей. Так, а вопрос, а как мне туда залезть? Я думаю, качина мне маловато. Только его используют, разве нет?
Greater pleasure is there than the unexpected.
Давай попробуем талисман странствующей воли. Стоп, чё? А как? А я чертов гений. Здорово, врач. А-а-а. А чё, туда нельзя? Что-то странно. Хоть так. Ладно. Нет. Ипотека долларов на часа. еще этот есть.
That's Wyna, the tribal chief. Let's head over to him.
Chaska.
Nice to see you again, Wyna. I'm afraid we don't have time for pleasantries, so I'll get right to it.
Whoa, hold on a second. At least
My friend Kachina is trapped within the Night Kingdom. We need the stone to find her ancient...
rescue her? From the Night Kingdom?
That's right.
I'm sorry, but someone needs to tell you what you don't want to hear. Going there, a mature warrior would never make such a foolish decision. The nature of battle is unpredictable. You never know how it's going to end. Losing a friend is tragic, but when that happens, the best thing you can do is...
I appreciate what you're trying to say, Chief Wyna. But if the price of maturity is abandoning a friend in need, I'll choose foolishness any day. If Kachina's still holding on, then so will I.
I thought you might say that.
Is something wrong, Wyna? This doesn't seem like you. Life isn't complete without taking risks. That's always been your mantra.
It's nothing. The Night Kingdom is a dangerous place. Can't blame me for checking if you were up to the task. If you're that determined, far be it from me to stop you. Here's the stone. Keep it safe, okay? It's not like we have a spare.
Thank you.
Huh. Seems like you two go way back. But aren't you from the Flower Feather clan, Chaska?
Oh, Chaska's a peacekeeper, so she's famous throughout the tribes. She's always the one people call to resolve conflicts. Her younger sister Quichi's always hanging around our tribe, too. She's...
Oh, you have a younger sister?
Yes, I'll introduce you to her sometime. But let's get back to business. Wyna, how do we use the stone?
As you probably know, your intended destination is completely different from the real world. The Night Kingdom is like a river flowing with concepts. And the ancient name you seek is like a tiny fish swimming. In that sense, the stone is like a fishing boat drifting down the river. But the boat alone isn't enough.
We couldn't do that ourselves?
With a little practice, I'm sure you could. You have the strength and the talent. If you want to make sure this works, though, I could recommend someone to you.
Who?
Vichama, a legendary warrior and scout from our tribe. He's got a keen eye and a well-honed intuition. Even his ancient name means to seek. If you're fishing for a name.
Bichama? Why does that name sound familiar?
He's one of Auntie Atea's hot spring buddies. I've heard stories about him. Where can we find him?
Ever since Malco passed, he spends most of his time gazing out at the scenery from the cliff tops. Follow the path that way.
Thank you. We'll go look for him there.
Good luck. I hope everything goes well.
А все нормально будет, не парься. Там вашу дичану найдем. И рычи. Вичама. Кто ж такой Вичама?
Someone admiring the scenery from the cliff tops. Ah! That must be him!
Погоди-ка, это
Hello
ли...
there! Are you Vichama?
That's me. Did you need something? What? You're saying you can bring someone back from the Night Kingdom? How is that even possible? No, if you really think about it, anything's possible in that kind of place. But that would mean...
Are you okay? You don't look so...
Everything's fine. I'll help you, but I do have a small request. After I help you find Kachina's ancient name, I want to use the stone to look for my friends as well.
Your friend? Oh, why not mention someone named Malco? Is that who you're talking...
Yes, but I'd rather not get into it if it's all the same to you.
That's not a problem. We agree to your...
Yeah. Since you're helping us find Kachina's ancient name, it's only right that we
Then we're agreed. Can I have a look at the stone? I see. From what I can tell, it functions almost like an abyssal pylon. Once the connection is established, the abyss will come surging through the opening like a predator honing in on the scent of blood. So
Wow, you got...
I just picked up on the basics, really. I still have no idea why it works. You said someone named Lali invented this. I'll go find an open area and start setting things up. In the meantime, I need you to get 2 things for me.
We'll go right away. What do you need?
First, I'll need some hook ropes. Pretty much every store around here carries them, so no need to go anywhere special. Oh, and I need to build a net out of...
Wait, are you saying you're going to use a real net to catch Kachina's ancient name? How does that work when one's
By creating something tangible in our world, like a net, we can create a connection to a corresponding concept in the Night Kingdom. Basically, I'm going to use the concept of a net to...
Oh, I see. What about...
Right. I need 2 chunks of obsidian. Once we bring the ancient names into our world, we'll need a place to store them. Normally, you can only get obsidian from the Children of Echoes. But I heard there's a traveling merchant from that tribe around here somewhere, so...
Gotcha!
Alright, let's split up. See that clearing? Let's meet over there when you're done. Oh, and you can send someone with me if you want. In case you're worried I might take the stone for myself.
What do you think, Chaska?
There's no need. Lena spoke highly of you.
I appreciate it, even though that doesn't mean much to me anymore. Anyway, it'll take some time to set everything up, so no need to rush. I'll see you...
What an odd guy. He seems so defeated, but also really invested in the stone at the same time.
I don't have any more insight than you, Paimon. Let's just focus on the preparations for now. Hang on, Kachina. We're coming for you.
Так, во-первых, где мы найдем обсидиан? Люди, мы не в Майнкрафте, чтобы землю копать и найти. А вот тем более не в террарии.
Hello. Do you have any hook ropes for sale?
Hook ropes? As in rock climbing equipment?
Yes. How much for your whole stock?
Oh, the whole thing? Let me see. That would be 30,000 mora in total.
Deal.
Wait, really?
What, you want me to drive down the price? We just need these as fast as...
Oh, no problem at all. I'll even pass along some information on the house. These ropes are usually used by All right, that's everything.
Now we need the obsidian. Let's go talk to the traveling merchant Bichama mentioned.
Ну давайте.
Excuse me, do you sell obsidian?
Why, yes. I've got a chunk for sale right over there.
Perfect. Is that the only one, though?
That might be tough. Tell you what,
Thank you so much. We'll wait here.
Пойдешь с пониманием. Хорошо, хоть ничего не упрашивай.
Relax. Everything's going according to plan.
I know, it's just... I could tell Vichama feels the same way about his friend that I do about Kachina. I hope this chunk of obsidian isn't the only one. Kachina always carries all sorts of shiny stones with her. If I was the one trapped in the Night Kingdom, she'd have a whole pile of obsidian ready in a heartbeat.
well, would you look at that? I did bring an extra. Here you go, young lady. How
Вот
does
как
it look?
тяжело.
Perfect! Thank you. How much?
If you hadn't shown up, these stones would have just sat here collecting dust. I'll take 3,000 mora for both.
Ого, как дешево-то.
Here you go. By the way, I heard you mention Vichama just now. How's he doing? Malco's been gone for 5 years now.
Do you know what happened between?
I heard about it in passing while I was out drinking one night, but I don't know all the details. Vichama and Malko grew up together. Malko was an amazing fighter, capable of knocking out multiple opponents in a single hit, while Vichama excelled at scouting and analyzing the battlefield. 5 years ago, they both emerged triumphant in the pilgrimage and were but on the eve of battle. The Abyss launched an attack on their tribe, and Vichama suffered an injury to his leg.
Then what happened?
The team agreed that he couldn't fight the Abyss in his condition. Vichama didn't argue. He knew going to the front lines with an injured leg would make him a burden in battle. So they raised the issue with the Pyro Archon, and she agreed to let him stay behind. It's just... Malko and the others ended up facing hordes of abyssal monsters in numbers that far exceeded anyone's expectations. Vichama went into a deep depression after that. He blames himself for everything.
Наверное, не было выбора.
Oh, you're not wrong. But it's possible he chooses to blame himself. Not because he did something wrong. I've tried convincing him to move forward, to stop dwelling on the past. The Abyss has caused so much suffering, and some wounds never heal. Anyway, that's the gist of it. Maybe you could help him talk.
Хорошо, дедушка, хорошо. Встретимся. Так, ну я так понял, сюда нам. И... Ник. Ить. Па-та-та-та. Та-та-та-та-та.
Did you get everything?
Yep, it's all here. When do we start?
I've made all the necessary adjustments, so we're good to go. As agreed, I'll help you find Kachina's ancient name, and then you return the favor.
Можно задать вопрос?
Go ahead.
Ты ищешь древнее имя друга, по той же причине, что и мы?
After Malko fell, I scoured the battlefield to see what happened. It turned out he wasn't bested by some impossibly powerful foe. He was dragged to his grave by the sheer number of enemies. If I had been there, I would have been able to sense the danger. I could have warned them not to advance. I've always blamed myself for what happened. But when you told me about Kachina, I realized there's a chance Malko might also be alive. Fight.
But that happened several years ago, right? The Pyro Archon said all life within the Night Kingdom eventually becomes one with the Sea of Souls.
There might not be much hope, but I still have to try. Malko and I promised each other, even if we never manage to root out the Abyss for good. All right, let's get to it. I'll start searching for the conceptualized version of Kachina's ancient name. If you see any fragments scattered around the area, please collect them. Make sure you prepare yourselves for battle. As I said, the stone will link the mortal realm to the Night King.
Понял.
Look at that golden thing. It must be one of those fragments Vichama mentioned. Let's get closer.
Так, надо фрагментик собирать. Ага.
Whoa, monsters incoming! Watch out, everyone!
Понял. Ну, тебя тут еще не хватало.
Let the world collide!
Так и ППС. Ай-яй-яй.
Let her rip!
How much longer, Vichama?
Not long. We're getting close.
Так, а ну-ка, поехали. Так, не та кнопка. Поехали кататься. Динь-динь-динь-динь.
Vichama!
Quick, take it! I found Kachina's ancient name. Hang in there, Malko. Just a little longer.
Something's not right. The power of the Abyss is...
The Abyss is corroding his body. Vichama, you can't keep going. You'll die.
I should have died 5 years ago. I just need a little more time. Please, I'm almost there.
Я помогу тебе выиграть время.
Thank you.
Давай, 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 давай.
Whoa, watch out! The power of the Abyss is strong.
Давай.
This power.
Hanging in there?
У нас мало времени.
Malko. No, why can't I find him? Why?
We can't wait any longer. Pull him away from the stone, Mualani.
I already tried, but the power of the Abyss has him in a chokehold. It's like he's tied to the stone with an invisible rope.
In that case, we have no choice. I'm sorry, Sea Lolly. Get back!
Chaska, wait!
Ouch! What happened just now? It looked like the spirit speaker's stone.
The stone's power was spiraling out of control. The only way to stop it was to destroy it. You were all caught in the shockwave of the explosion. You might feel dizzy for a while, but that's normal.
Give us a heads up next time, will you? You're lucky we managed to dodge it in time.
I thought I said to get back.
Yeah, barely a second before you made it go poof. Not everyone has your reflexes, Chaska. We were this close to getting dragged into the explosion.
Ну все, тихо, тихо, маланечка, не кипихуй. Мы живы, здоровы и там главное.
Okay, I'll be more careful next time.
At least Kachina's ancient name is still in one piece. Wait, where's Vichama? Vichama!
Vichama!
I couldn't find Malko's ancient name. It must be completely gone by now. Once your ancient name disappears, there's no coming back. From the very beginning, I knew there was a slim chance, but... And now... It's too late to save him.
Vichama.
I'm sure he's heard enough condolences over the years. Let's just give him some space.
Huh? What's that in your hands, Vichama? It looks like something's glowing.
Huh? This is...
Hey, Malko. Got any strength left?
Not enough to swing a sword, but to say a few last words? Sure.
Too bad. No one will get to hear them. I never thought I'd actually die on this mission. Not that I'm afraid to die. It's just... hard. Thinking about my mom's face when she hears the news.
Guess I have something to be thankful for then. My parents died a long time ago. They won't have to mourn me. Pisak! Always had to beat me at everything, didn't you? Right to the end, you were never one for goodbyes. Maybe you're right. Maybe no one will get to hear our last words. But Vichama, I'm so glad you didn't come with us. Don't be sad. keep on living. For the both of us.
Was that a memory?
Seems like we were able to salvage something after all.
Вичама, тебе лучше? Задают такой вопрос.
Of course. Seeing him, hearing his voice again, it makes me unbelievably happy. But it also brings with it an even deeper pain.
A deeper pain? Why?
Это глупый вопрос.
Malco was always the type to put on a brave face. But in that memory just now, his hands were shaking, and his smile was forced. For all these years, I regretted not being able to fight alongside him to the end. And now I know, at the end of his life,
Vichama.
I'm fine. Actually, I heard Chief Wyna wasn't really on board with your plan to go to the Night Kingdom. When you asked for my help, I hesitated too. I knew helping you find your friend's ancient name meant leading you once, but I also understood why you had to try. Everyone has regrets in life. Once allowed to fester, guilt strips us of our most valuable qualities as warriors. In that sense, we might as well choose the braver path from the very beginning. If I could do it all over again, I would have followed Malco to the front lines no matter what. Even with an injured leg, there were still things I could have done. That way, even if the outcome stayed the same, I still would have fought alongside him to the end. There are critical junctures in life, and if you don't seize the chance to act, there's no... That's something I had to learn in hindsight. But you're still at the crossroads of your journey, so... I hope you can walk away with...
Thank you, Vichama. I feel even more determined now. Kachina will come back to us. I'll make sure of it. I promised I would find her, and I intend to keep that promise.
That's good to hear. Strange. My body...
Once abyssal corrosion enters the body, a portion will fuse itself to your internal organs. Even though the Traveler possesses powers of purification, the corrosion can never be fully eradicated. Thanks to him, though, you were only briefly exposed. Slowing your breathing and controlling your emotions should help you keep the symptoms in check.
That does make me feel better. You seem very knowledgeable about all this.
Just speaking from experience, that's all.
Anyway, we've recovered Kachina's ancient name, so we're off to a great start. Let's get Vichama back to his tribe and tell Wyna the good news. Oh, and apologize for destroying the Spirit Speaker Stone. We had no choice, though, so he'll probably understand.
Ну, как бы камень типа не его было, а некой Кетлали.
Koichi, are you really gonna just stand there like that? I
think you know exactly what I'm trying to say, Uncle Wyna. I can hear it in your voice.
Honestly, it's just one thing after another with you. They're back.
Koichi? What are you doing here?
Don't play dumb with your own sister. You know exactly why I'm... My apologies, everyone. I just need to borrow Chaska for a few minutes.
I'll be just a moment.
Who is that?
Koichi, Chaska's younger sister. Although the two aren't actually related by blood, it's kind of a long story.
Точно, она только что назвала себя сестрой Часки.
It's not really my story to tell, but I guess it's not a secret. You see, Chaska was actually raised by cuckoo sores.
Oh.
She was afflicted with a rare disease when she was a child, and abandoned in the wild as a result. The Abyss found her out there. That strength of will pushed her to survive. But it also planted a seed of conflict within her. Eventually, she was adopted.
For some reason, Paimon can totally imagine that.
Well, when Chaska finally returned to human society, it was Koichi's parents who adopted her. At the time, Chaska still had a habit of getting into fights.
Ah, I remember those days. One of those fights was definitely with me. But, you know, kids. You're fighting one minute and your friend's the next. Eventually, she found a way to rein in that desire to fight. And now she's who people call to resolve conflicts. She's known as the Peacemaker. It sounds like she still argues with Koichi, though. Don't siblings usually stop fighting when they get older?
That's partly my fault. Koichi asked me to stop Chaska from doing anything dangerous, but you probably know by now, once Chaska makes up her mind, there's no changing it.
Oh, I get it. No wonder you tried to talk us out of going to the Night Kingdom. Chaska even said that wasn't like you.
I'm all for your adventure. You need to take risks when you're young, because by the time you're my age, you couldn't attempt something like that even if you wanted to. Better try now than live with regrets later. Still, I can understand where Koichi's coming from. In the end, nobody wants to sit back and let a loved one put their life on the line.
All right, it's just the two of us now. You have 1 minute to explain yourself.
I don't have anything to say. You don't have to approve, but you should know I only do what's necessary.
That attitude is exactly the problem. It's like you don't care. You try to sneak off to the Night Kingdom behind my back and then play it down as if it's just a trip abroad.
Well, technically I am going abroad, right?
Again with the excuses! We agreed, didn't we? There are 4 levels of danger. If it's not something urgent, you can only engage in level 2 danger and below. You can only go up to level 3 if a situation is so dire there's absolutely no alternative. But a trip to the Night Kingdom? If that's not a level 4, I don't know what is. And you were just going to sneak into the place without saying anything.
What do you mean, sneak into the place? I always planned on walking in there with my head held high.
You bought off Uncle Wina, didn't you? He promised me he'd stop you from doing anything dangerous.
You feel like he went back on his word. What if I told you my mind was made up, and there was nothing he could have done? Not even by force.
Oh, I knew it! So he did try to say something, but you didn't listen.
This is important. If you were in my shoes, you'd make the same decision.
You don't know that? I'm a doctor, and I handle logistics. If you're going to waltz into a dangerous situation where you could lose control at any moment, it's my—
All right, whatever. Anything else?
You— What do you mean, anything else? Why don't you reflect on what you've done and promise me you'll stay put?
Time out. Is this one of our normal arguments or a serious one?
Chaska, does it sound like I'm joking?
Then you need to know something. What happened to Kachina was partially my fault. I can't leave her there to die. That's not who I am.
But the person you become when you lose control, that's also not who you are.
That's a different issue. You said it yourself. A person is only as good as their morals. If I want to live in Natlan, I need to display qualities that make me worthy of this nation.
I've also told you that managing your condition is equally important.
Sometimes you have to make sacrifices. All right, let's stop this here. If we keep going, I might actually have to get serious. And I think Wina prefers his roof attached to his house.
Is that a threat? That sounds like a threat to me.
Koichi! Younger sisters are supposed to listen to their elders.
So, you're really going to go, no matter what I say? I'm supposed to be your sister.
Then support me. I'll be back. All you have to do is wait.
Chaska. So, that's it. Why'd you have to turn out to be so...
You two are something else.
Something you wanted to say?
I know you aren't related by blood, but you two sure are similar.
Really?
You know, I said that very thing to Koichi not too long ago, and she reacted the exact same way, down to the very tone of voice.
Секундочку.
It's not my place to get involved, but I will say this. Try to spend a little more time with your sister. You're tough kids. That does—
Thank you.
Anytime. All right. If you're done with the Spirit Speaker Stone, you might as well, according to Kinich. It's an important ceremonial artifact.
If only Tone-Deaf Bard was here, he could have repaired it just like the Holy Liar.
It might be in a few more pieces than you remember.
Huh? I see. Sounds like it was an urgent situation. If someone's life was on the line, still, Citlali's going to be a nightmare to deal with now that you've broken her stuff. Stay safe out there in the Night Kingdom, okay?
Ну что ж, пошлите выручать нашего пупсика маленького. Ищите Мауики древнее имя Качины. Так, вот мы здесь, фактически на месте. Фактически, да, вот на месте, где на задании есть еще и телепорт, который я не открыл. Поэтому вот так. Вот он. Есть.
We're back! We found Kachina's ancient name, too!
Что произошло на стадионе?
Well, it's fairly complicated. Let me give you the condensed version.
The Fatui again? We can't go anywhere without them causing—
But what if the Fatui finds out you've lost your power? Won't they try to take advantage of this?
That's why it has to be our little secret. No one else can know. Look, I wish I could offer you some sort of consolation, but I won't lie to you. Still, all you need to do is focus on your goal.
I can also step in on the Pyro Archon's behalf. There's a limit to what I can accomplish, but I'll help you however I can.
There's no need to be so modest, Dion-san. Your incredible strength has long been a
Archon, I'm sorry about before. You have so much on your plate.
You have nothing to be sorry about. We all get overwhelmed by our emotions, myself included. Well, now that we have Kachina's ancient name, let's go track her down.
What is this place? Hey, isn't that Atea's talisman?
Good eye. This is where I store all the various—
Whoa. I've never seen this place before.
It looks like there are items from every tribe.
I suppose you could think of it as a hobby of sorts. In Natlan, everyone grows up listening to the stories of heroes, and physical items do a far better job of preserving those stories than our own. Now, I still have some preparations to make for the ceremony, so feel free to take a look around in the meantime. If you're curious about an item, I'm more than willing to tell you about its origins.
All right, we'll have a look. Atea's talisman.
I'm sure you're familiar with this one already. Atea was rarely ever without it. The powder still needs some time to settle, so let's wait a little longer. Well, what do you think of my collection? Do you feel like you have a better understanding of Natlan's culture now?
Yeah, if each item represents a different story, seems like Natlan's really big. Does every item hold a special memory, just like Atea's talisman?
That's right. The items in my collection actually serve a similar purpose to the ancient names passed down among the tribes. They demonstrate the true shape of time.
The shape of time?
Most people perceive time as a linear concept, almost like a straight line that can only move forward. But there's also a different theory, one that I believe to be closer to the truth. Namely, that the past, present, and future
At once? Paimon's not sure she understands.
Let's say your journey ended right now. Thinking back on your experience in each nation, which one would you say was the most important?
Думаю, что все.
Exactly. Even at the end of your journey, the things you experienced along the way don't cease to exist. They become part of who you are. Take out a portion of that journey, and you would likely make very different decisions, and eventually arrive at a very different destination. The future is the same way. It exists even though it has yet to come to pass. We just lack the means to perceive it. Of course, there are those with the power to foresee the future. They simply call it by a different name. Fate. You're quite familiar with that concept, I would imagine.
That does kinda make sense. The future hasn't happened.
Humanity excels at living in the present, but too often we forget the past and neglect the future.
Значит, древние имена склоняют память о прошлом?
While the pilgrimage and the Night Warden Wars lead us to a better future. Only by uniting the people of Natlan across countless eras can we fight back against an enemy as formidable as the Abyss. To come up with such a set of rules, the first Pyro Archon must have possessed a level of insight I can only imagine.
Значит, правила Натлана созданы первым Пираркотом.
That's correct. At first, he was a mortal man with no special power. After he ascended to the divine throne, he used it to borrow power from the heavens and establish the rules of Natlan. Namely, a framework through which ordinary people can ascend to Archonhood. By holding the pilgrimage, we're able to determine the strongest among us. And when that person ascends to the divine throne, their inner flame will awaken. In addition, the sacred flame will grant them significant knowledge and memory of this land. After all, that's how I came to know everything I just told you.
So, it all comes down to the power of the divine throne and the rules. Wait, is that a family portrait?
Yes, that's my mother, father, younger sister, and the little saurians we raised.
Вау, какие милашки.
I turned a piece of my dad's leather armor into a canvas and commissioned a famous artist to paint our likeness.
Your sister is so cute! It looks like the two of you are really close. Paimon was having a hard time thinking of an Archon as an ordinary person, but seeing this portrait, it kind of makes sense now. It really doesn't look like there was anything special about you before. Oh, wait, is Paimon allowed to say that?
A little late for that question, don't you think?
Sorry! Paimon's so sorry! Paimon's mouth works faster than her brain sometimes!
It's all right. I'd never get upset over something like... No matter what others may say, my past is a precious part of my identity. I'm forever proud of the life I used to lead. Becoming the Archon doesn't mean you sever ties with your family. The position just comes with a lot of responsibilities, so it impacts how often you get to see them. My father made the most delicious stew, so my sister would often bring me a large pot of his cooking, and we would sit on a blanket and eat it together. One time, we didn't close the door securely, and the saurians you were raising ran into the room and knocked over the entire pot. My sister immediately burst into tears. The two troublemakers were going for the meat, but when they saw my sister's distress, they froze on the spot. I still remember the way they laid there, sulking like a pair of children, even after making such a mess. It was frustrating, but in the end, all I could do was comfort my sister and move on.
Wow.
Ты так легко просила?
Isn't that what being a family is all about? I think about that story a lot, actually. As the Archon, I made a vow to defend this nation, and experiences like that.
Well, what happened after that? This portrait looks pretty old. Your sister must be all grown up by now, right?
I believe she ended up working as an architect and artist. She built many houses and crafted many beautiful works of art. Anyway, that's enough about me. Now that the powder is settled, we can begin. Ian-san, Mulani, Chaska, over here, please. Place the ancient name up there, and then we'll begin.
Разместите древнее имя Качины.
Surely as the echoes of life resound through heaven and earth, so too shall our stories remain eternal. Ancient name, take us to your fated bearer. Allow her to answer our call.
Am I hallucinating again?
Kachina, are you okay?
Huh? I'm not seeing things, am I?
It's okay, Kachina. It's just us. We're trying to find a way to bring you back.
Everyone, you have to listen to me. I've been investigating the Night Kingdom this entire time, and I figured out what's wrong. I was waiting for the Y-Up to send me back, but then this really strong monster came in and it almost killed me. The Y-Up saved me, even though its power is weakening. So I've been hiding from the monsters while trying to... The Night Kingdom has become a huge mess, though. I keep hearing these awful sounds.
Don't listen to those sounds, Kachina. The Abyss is trying to strip you of your sanity. All you need to do is stay safe and wait for us. We'll be there shortly.
It's okay. I feel so much better now that I've had the chance to talk to you. I've never been strong or special at all, really. So I don't blame anyone for forgetting about me or leaving me behind. Just knowing you care is more than enough.
Так, а ну-ка, всё, забудьте эти слова, сейчас прибежу.
I'll find a way back. You don't have to put yourselves in danger to come
Будем.
rescue me.
Ты меня не переубедишь, будем.
You're always like this, Kachina. Now's not the time to act tough. We're coming for you. I don't know what lies the Abyss has been feeding you, but I'll tell you something right now. Nope, you're a victor of the Night Warden Wars, a hero of Natlan. All you need to do is wait for us to rescue you, and you'll...
Так, не плачь, не плакай. Давай, возьми себя в руки. Ты героиня Натлана.
I'm really scared. Everything's so dark and creepy here.
Я понимаю, мы тебя приведем.
I want to go home.
Мы тебя найдем и приведем домой, да.
Still, I don't want you to put yourselves in danger because of me. I don't want to hold anyone back ever again.
Не окажемся, не будешь ты
All
обузой.
you need to do is place your trust in us, just like you always have. No one fights alone. We're not leaving you behind. Not
Правильно?
ever.
Yeah, we're so close. We can't call it quits now. Thank you. Be careful.
Looks like we've lost contact. Now comes the most dangerous part. You have to traverse the Night Kingdom in your physical form.
Открывай сезам портал, сейчас я тебя вытащу одиночку.
This entrance to the Night Kingdom was left behind after an abyssal invasion. Even a brief amount of time inside could expose you to corrosion.
Пофиг, я отфильтрую.
I know. I'm prepared for that possibility.
All right. Then I wish you all the best. I'll tell Koichi to be ready just in case. She's very that face you just made. Don't tell me you two got into another...
No, I just feel bad for creating more work for her.
I'll go with them too, Archon. The more people, the stronger the party.
Thank you so much for your help, everyone. It really means a lot that you're willing to brave these dangers with me. And there's no time to lose, so let's get going.
Now that I've lost my power, I won't be able to provide much practical support. But I can still keep an eye on the situation from here. Eon-san, I know it's unlikely, but if you encounter a situation...
That won't happen.
I hope not.
Войдите в подземные руины. Секунду. Так быстрее будет. Туй. Туй, туй. А. Ты где? На. На. Единственный путь царства ночи, когда-то здесь жили древние драконы. А теперь это место превратилось в руины. Находясь под влиянием бездны, оно таит в себе множество неизвестных опасностей. Нужен Пира и Гидра. Так, я тебя пока что уберу. Давайте раз нужен...
What shall we do?
Нет, дайте не дело. Давайте я возьму Аяку. Нет, лучше давай возьму вот сказку. Он нам поможет. Вперед! Вперед, спасатели! Качина ждет. Облучите руины. Вот это руины. Ну-ка, дайте поупражняюсь. Я надеюсь, никто не против не зальется. Так, мы сейчас под Натланом. Далеко не то, что представлял себе Пайман. Это потому, что в далеком прошлом Натлан был домом для невероятно развитой цивилизации, управляемой драконами. Люди создали свое общество только после падения драконов. Так это Заврианские руины? Думаю, она говорит не о Заврианах, она говорит о драконах. Там появились стихии, у них была своя развитая цивилизация. Да, давным-давно. До нас дошли лишние записи, и никто точно не знает, для чего нужны местные устройства. Эти руины долгое время были заброшены. Но с недавним действием бедные местные установки снова как активировались. Значит, путь царства ночи будет нелегким. Да, нас ждут испытания. Вот и отлично. А почему вы все так смеетесь? Пайман это пугает. Предвкушение приключений, верно? Конечно, не терпится начать. Авантюристы живут ради таких моментов. Тогда вперед, нас ничто не остановит. Вперед, приключения! Похилимся на дорожку, я думаю, никто не против. А то что-то мы все на полуиздыхании люди. Да погнали!
should we get across?
А вот сюда
As
мы
a
пойдем.
professional trainer, I think you could stand to build up your endurance, Paimon.
Professional trainer? Paimon thought you were a warrior from the Collective of Planning.
Well, that goes without saying. But I actually work as a sports coach. I provide professional guidance for many of Natlan's popular sports. And I don't just mean physical training. I design nutrition plans as well.
Ah, so basically no sugar, no soft drinks, no grilled meat.
Yeah, we'll be here all day if you list them out one by one. It's much faster to just focus on what's good for you.
Such as?
Vegetable juice. Want some?
You know, Ian-san, Paimon feels like the two of us might not see eye to eye. Those guys look familiar.
We've fought them before. Let's go. Show no mercy.
Вперед! Бакуган, бой! Бакуган! На поле! Терминатор Лукина, я выбираю тебя! А, теперь тут другой за вариант.
Whoa, the place we need to go seems really high up.
Вперед! А! Нет! А, ладно. На. Ага. А. Mira. Mira. Раз. И два. Нет. И два. И три. Нет. И бам. Ну, это все равно. Главное, что хотя бы Арлекина здоровая. Открывай ворота.
This is the final stretch. We just need to climb up, and we'll be there. Nothing to it.
Easy for you to say.
А не, нормально все. Сейчас залезем. Ой. Это что за дырка?
This must be the entrance the Pyro Archon
Наверное,
told
тот
us
самый
about.
вход, о котором
One
говорила
ripped
нам
open by
Кира
the
Аракон.
abyss.
Разорванный бездной.
Yes.
Да.
There's
Я
something
чувствую
in
на
the
глубине
depths of this
присутствие
place
чего-то
that
одновременно
feels
чужого и
familiar,
очень знакомого.
yet also foreign.
We actually
И
have to
что,
go
нам
in there?
придется лезть внутрь?
Okay, Paimon just needs
Паймон
to
нужно
set herself
собраться.
up.
Только
Don't
чур
push
не
it
толкай,
through before
Паймон.
she's ready.
Ладно, мы тебя туда выкинем. Ну что, сама же сказала не толкать.
Hey, you don't have
Не,
to
отпустите
jump,
Паймон.
Paimon. You're
Не
pulling
надо
too
Паймон
hard.
никуда тащить. Ну чё ты разбежалась-то, а? Я
Looks
тебя
like
не
we
вы...
made it. This is the
Кажется,
Night Kingdom.
получилось. Мы в царстве ночи. По рассказам представляло совсем иначе. Повсюду разлита сила бездны. Переизбыток силы бездны и запер здесь Качину. С этого момента все наши представления о реальном мире больше не работают. Здесь может произойти все, что угодно. Память больше волнуется о том, как мы будем выбираться отсюда. Мы не сможем вернуться назад тем же путем. Взгляните на землю, видите? Из трещины в небе пробивается свет. Да, прямо у нас под ногами. Значит, он идет сверху. Ого, как высоко. Мы что, упали прямо оттуда? Вот что я имел в виду, когда сказал, что наше представление о мире здесь не работает. Мы упали с такой высоты, но нисколько не пострадали. В реальном мире нам пришлось бы карабкаться наверх, чтобы выбраться наружу. А здесь нам достаточно будет дать подглучить и прочитать молитву. И все? Не вздумай сбежать. Как ты можешь так плохо думать о Пайман? Пайман вовсе не это имела в виду. Значит, нам нужно отыскать Качину и привести ее сюда. Да. Свет прорывает сюда из реального мира. Он связывает миры между собой. Рельеф здесь неровный и видимость плохая. Как мы собираемся искать Качину? И эти черные штуковины в воздухе не особо нам рады. Все это проявление силы бездны. Будьте осторожны. Это привидение! Говорящее привидение! Знаешь, неудивительно. Успокойся, я пришел помочь. Это ведь вы помогли Личами? Значит, ты... Да, я Малка. Друг Личан. Я думал, что та ночь поглотила меня результатка. Но потом услышал зов таинственной силы. Она словно искала меня. Пыталась собрать меня по кусочкам. Конечно, это неосуществимая задача. Прошу прощения, что явил вам свою незавершенную форму. Нет, мы должны просить прощения. Это мы должны просить прощения. Не околить камень духов под воздействием силы бездны, мы сделали бы намного больше. Но нам пришлось разрушить его, иначе Личами его пленник грозил бы опасность. Я понимаю. Спасибо, что защитили его. Подумать только, после стольких лет он пошел ради на такой риск. Под воздействием силы камня я почувствовал, что наши души связаны. Казалось, мы даже жалели в одном и том же. Победа нас ждет или гибель. Но все равно хочу, чтобы лучший друг был рядом. Да. Нам никогда не исполнить этой мечты. Но вам еще не поздно. Вы разыскали девочку из детей Эко. И я преследую воплощение силы бездны. Я хочу помочь ей, пока молник еще не рассеялся. Следуйте за мной. Будьте осторожны. Это место очень пострадало от бездны.
Paimon didn't realize it had gotten this bad.
It's like a seething volcano ready to engulf our world at any moment.
Ау! Быстрее, назад, не уходи далеко. Моя сила может защитить вас от атак. Следуйте за мной. Нет. А-та-та-та. А-та-та-та-та-та-та-та. Ай! Дело плохо, опять монстры. А вообще как-то до чипалата. Але... Куда без меня? И засранить. Не дай боже опять кого-нибудь придумать.
It's easy to get lost here. Just stick close.
Ну ё-моё.
Did you hear that?
Вы слышали?
What?
Что?
Never mind.
Ничего.
It was probably
Наверное,
just my
воображение
imagination.
разыгралось. Не вздумай пугать Пайман.
I heard it too.
Я тоже слышала.
It was a voice
Это был
from the
голос из
abyss.
бездны. Ой, что он сказал?
Doesn't matter.
Неважно.
It certainly doesn't
Может,
harbor
точно
good
ничего хорошего.
intentions.
I just heard it too! Let's keep going. Paimon wants to get out of this place!
Ну как скажешь, братан. Опа!
We're here, Kachina!
Качина, мы пришли.
Moalani?
Моалани? Это вы? Как хорошо.
Looks like our reunion will have to wait
Поговорим
until we
после,
take
а
care of
сейчас
these
надо разобраться с
monsters.
монстрами.
Good idea.
Отлично, вперед! Правильно. Ай, покажем, где в порядке зимой. А ну вперед!
The show begins. Time to shine.
Ай-яй-яй, я на тебя не успел. Ладно, сейчас живем.
You're here.
Вы здесь? Я дождалась вас.
Thank you so much.
Спасибо.
That monster can appear from
Монстры могут быть повсюду.
It almost caught me
Несколько
a
раз
bunch
я
of
едва не
times.
попалась.
The Wyap's power helps
Сила
keep me
Бая
hidden.
помогла
So,
мне
I
оставаться
just tried to stay out of
незамеченной.
sight until you
Поэтому я
got
пряталась
here.
и ждала, когда вы придете.
Had a girl.
Ты такая
Did
молодец.
so well.
Ты отлично
And
справилась.
most importantly,
И главное,
you
что
weren't
ты не
hurt.
ранена.
Should we start heading back
Ну
then?
что, теперь мы идем назад?
Actually, I have a request.
У меня есть одна
Will you come
просьба.
visit
Вы
the
можете
Wyap
ходить
with
вместе
me?
со мной к Лае?
I can't
Не знаю, как
exactly put it
объяснить,
into
но с
words,
Одой
but
Воскресения что-то не так.
something's wrong
И
with
здесь
the
точно не
Oath
вошло
Resurrection.
загрязнение из бездны.
That was the Pyro
Это
Archon's
подтверждает
theory as
догадку
well.
Кира Аконта.
Everything
Как и
we've
все,
seen
что мы
here is
видим вокруг.
In the Night Kingdom, there are
В Царстве
6
ночи
main
есть 6
totems
главных тотемных
representing the
столбов.
Wyap of each
Каждый
tribe.
представляет Вая своего племени.
You can think of them like the body
Главные
of each
тотемные
tribe.
столбы можно сравнить
Additional
с
totem poles,
телами
like the
каждой
ones
Вая,
around here, serve
а
as proxies
дополнительные
to which the
столбы
Wyap
служат
can extend their
посредниками,
consciousness.
с помощью которых Вая может расширять свое сознание.
There are countless proxies
По всему
scattered around the
царству
Night Kingdom.
ночи рассеяно
Through
бесчисленное
them,
множество
the Wyap can
посредников.
extend their consciousness
С
over the
помощью Вая
entire
может
realm and
захватывать
track down
сознание
souls
всех
no matter
царств.
where they roam.
И куда бы вы ни отправилась душа, Вая ее
But
отыщет.
if a proxy were to become
Но если
severely
посредников
contaminated,
поражает
then the
загрязнение,
soul could become
душа
lost within the
теряется
Night
в царстве
Kingdom.
ночи.
Judging by the current situation,
Судя по тому, что
I
мы
don't
видим,
think we're
вряд ли
dealing
дело
with
ограничится
just one
одним
contaminated
посредником.
proxy.
Пусть даже
Even
мы
if we could
избавим его
drive
от
back
силы
the abyssal
бездны,
power from
делу
Wyap,
это не поможет.
still, we
Но
can't just
мы не
leave the
можем
Wyap to
бросить Вая на
suffer.
произвол судьбы.
It's
Она
protected
меня
me this whole
защитила.
time.
Она меня защищала. Лучше спаси одного, чем не спасать никого.
I agree. We might
Согласна.
even manage to
И
drive the
заодно мы
monster
сможем
that's
выманить
hunting
монстра, который
Kachina.
гнал за Качиной.
Getting rid of the monster might slow
Избавившись от
down the
монстра, мы хоть
deterioration of the Night
немного
Kingdom.
замедлим разложение царства ночи.
Kachina?
Качина?
What's wrong?
Что такое? Ничего.
Just a
Только голова болит. И опять этот голос
voice again, telling me
говорит,
to
чтобы я
abandon the
бросила
Wyap
Вая,
and
поскорее
leave
уходила
this
прочь.
place. Maybe we really should leave.
Может, нам правда стоит
Kachina's already
уйти?
been here for too
Качина
long.
провела здесь слишком много времени.
No, I
Нет, со мной все в порядке. Я не буду
don't
слушать
plan
эту
on
ерунду,
listening
я
to that
справлюсь.
nonsense.
Где находится
hold
тотемный...
on.
Где находится тотемный стол?
Just up ahead.
Недалеко отсюда, я
I'll lead the
покажу
way.
дорогу.
Besides,
Я
I
тоже
can
могу
still
сражаться,
fight,
поэтому
so
прошу вас, помогите.
listen to me, Kachina.
Качина,
We'll come
послушай.
with you.
Мы идем
But
с
that's
тобой,
because
но
we
мы
want to help
делаем
the
это для
Wyap.
того, чтобы
Not
помочь
because we
Вае.
have something to
Мы не
prove.
хотим ничего тебе доказывать.
You don't have anything to prove
И
either.
ты не должна
It's
ничего
okay if you
доказывать.
reach your limit.
Если чувствуешь,
We'll
что не
be there for
справляешься,
you.
положись на нас.
All right. The sooner we get
Давайте
this done,
покончим с
the
этим
better.
как можно скорее.
We've already come all this way.
Да, раз уж
So
мы
we
здесь
might as well try
оказались,
to get to the
надо
bottom of
постараться
this.
решить проблему.
Let's go.
Идем,
This way.
нам сюда.
I'll stay here and try to stall
Я
the abyss
останусь
monster.
здесь, чтобы отвлечь монстра бездны.
All by yourself?
Один?
That's too
Это
dangerous.
слишком опасно.
It's all right.
Все в порядке. Конечно, я слабее, зато лучше знаком с местностью. Да и потом, мне не так много времени осталось. Если бы хоть немного похож на моего друга, уверен, вам тоже не нравятся долгие прощания. Идите, добейте своей цели и возвращайтесь туда, куда должны вернуться. Спасибо тебе за все. Ты настоящий герой. Спасибо. Никто не сражается в одиночку. До новой встречи.
Does your head still hurt? Let me help you walk.
I'm fine. You should know I'm made of stronger stuff than that.
Секунду. Полетели. Кому что летит по тому камню? Это мне не нравится. Совсем что-то не нравится. Лая, я вернулась. Ты привела друзей, мы тебя вылечим. Лая, ты меня слышишь? Мы были правы. Тяжелое загрязнение мешает Лая ответить на наш зов. Хорошо, приготовься. Пора очистить это место от силы бездны. Я помогу. Осторожно, у нас гости. Так, быстро. Вы думали, меня остановит какая-то ничтожная душонка? Его глупая отвага не стоила ломаного гроша. Камонки, пылающая звезда. Он встал у меня на пути, и я от него избавился. Ты убил Малка? Он бы все равно скоро рассеялся. Чем беспокоиться о нем, подумайте лучше о себе. Возможно, раньше вам доводилось побежать подобных мне. Но если вы недооцените меня, то дорого за это заплатите. Все это твоих рук дело? Нет. Сила бездны объединяет. А я разрушительный план подобен произведению искусства. Я пользуюсь любой возможностью, чтобы рассмотреться в жизни. Я думал, остальные люди не настолько наивны, как эта девочка. Но в итоге встретил целое стадо ягнят, готовых отдать себя на заклинание. В этом и заключается проклятие короткой жизни. Вы не знаете, кто такой всепоглощающая сила. Древние имена, достоинство, дружба. Пустые слова, придуманные для того, чтобы дать вам ложное ощущение собственной значимости. В них нет ни капли силы. Пира Архон выдумала чечен напыщенный идеалы от жадности. Лишь бы сохранить силу, лишь бы не делиться с обычными людьми своим изначальным даром. Не веришь? Тогда задай себе вопрос. Почему Пира Архон так безгранично сильна, а ты так слаба, Качина? Я... Качина. Дай мне руку. Чувствуешь? Я рядом. Спасибо, Муалани. Ты права. Мне нечего бояться. Ведь я теперь не одна. Что? Ты прав. Сама по себе утешение не приносит силы. Но вместе с тем ты ужасно заблуждаешься. Ты получил свою силу без труда. Поэтому не можешь понять, где находится ее источник. Что? Смелость выступить против тебя и не сдаваться рождается из дружбы. Не идеал дружбы несет в себе силу, а наша приверженность этому идеалу и решение сражаться плечом к плечу. Хорошо сказано, Муалани. Идем, Качина. Мы вдвоем одолеем такого врага. Прости, пожалуйста, но ты заслужил. Пусть и есть, в Натлане не так много соперников, способных победить нас, когда мы вместе. Пусть узнаешь, что это за сила. Далее. Вперед! Понял, понял. Ня.
Need a surfboard? Right here.
Ня.
Spin to win. Clear the area.
Вперед! Бакуган! Бой!
We won. We actually won.
Мы победили! Победили! Он оказался ничуть не сильнее врага, с которым мы сражались раньше. Отличная работа.
That's what he gets for
Вот что
underestimating.
бывает, когда недооцениваешь своих противников.
Fantastic work, Kachina.
Качина, ты невероятно сражалась. Да, невероятно.
This makes me so.
Я так рада.
I'm happy too,
И
Moana.
я рада, Муалане. Когда мы вместе, нас не остановить.
Huh?
Ой, что это такое?
My ancient name is.
Мое древнее имя светится?
But I thought I
Но я
didn't bring
думал,
it
что
with me.
оставила его снаружи.
It's probably a projection from the real
Наверное, это
world.
проекция из
That
материального
doesn't
мира.
explain why it's glowing all of a
Но
sudden.
все равно не понятно, почему оно стало светиться.
Wait.
Неужели
Does that mean you're-
есть?
That was a bold move.
Смелый
Diving
шаг.
headfirst into the
Ради
fire
спасения
to
друга
save your
отброситься в
friend,
самую гущу
especially in a
опасности.
place so
Туда,
overrun
где
with
загрязнение
abyssal
бездны особенно
corruption.
сильное.
Still,
Но
seeing
это
you
было
pull it
красиво,
off
не скрою.
was really something. Everything you said
Вы
was
правы.
exactly right.
Одиночка
As
никогда не сможет
isolated
справиться.
individuals, we stand no
Никогда не
chance
сможет
against the power
справляться
of the
силой.
abyss.
Сопротивляться силой бездны.
It took years worth of scars,
Чтобы понять это,
lots of
мне потребовалось
unnecessary
потратить долгие
suffering
годы.
for me to
Покрыть свое
understand
тело
that for
шрамами и
myself.
вынести много ненужной боли.
The Pyro Archon's
План
plan
Пира
will
Архонта
unite
свяжет
us
нас
as one.
воедино,
Everyone
и каждый
has a
сыграет
part to
свою
play.
роль.
Only then
Лишь
will we
тогда
have
мы
the
сможем
power
одолеть
to
самого
defeat the
могущественного из врагов.
strongest of foes.
Кто
Who
ты?
are you?
Tupac, a
Тупак,
warrior from the people
воин
of
из
the
народа
Springs.
Родников.
I fought
5
against
столетий
the
назад
Abyss
я
during
сражался
the
от бездны,
invasion 500
атаковавшей
years
Нафу.
ago.
I've heard that name before.
Я слышал это имя.
You were
Ты
the
великий
giant who
герой,
saved
который
all of
спас
Natlan.
Нафла.
Since you were able to
Если ты
awaken
смогла
my
пробудить мои
words
слова
from
из
your
древнего
ancient
имени,
name, that
значит, ты
means you have
понимаешь, чего
fully
хочет
embodied
Вая.
the under the name
Под
Umoja.
именем Умбоута
You shall unite
ты
the
проведешь
tribes and
объединение
save
племен
Natlan
и
from its
спасешь Нафлана
impending
гибели.
Me?
Я?
As long as blood
Пока в
still
тебе
runs
теплится
through your
дыхание,
veins,
удар лезвием
even
от
the
кремени,
tiniest spark of
чтобы выбить
steel
искру
against
и
stone
зажечь
can
пламя.
ignite a flame. Its blaze will
Пламя
become one with
сольется
our
воедино
vision
с
for
нашим
Natlan.
образом Натлана.
Even amid
И даже
everlasting
вечная тьма не
darkness,
сможет
our bonds
разорвать
remain
нашу связь.
eternal.
What's wrong?
Что такое, Муалани? Воспоминания.
So many
Роется
memories.
в голове.
So that's what
Так
happened.
вот оно что.
What do you mean?
Что
Did
ты
you
хочешь
just figure
сказать? Что
something
ты
out?
узнала?
500 years ago,
500 лет назад они
they
уже
foresaw the
предвидели
very
нынешнее
crisis we're
бедствие
facing
Натлана
now.
и пытались его
Efforts to save
предотвратить.
Natlan started all the way back then. We can go over the details
Сейчас не
once
самое
we get
подходящее
back.
время для долгих
We shouldn't
историй.
linger here
Вот
longer than we
вернемся, и
have
ты
to.
все объяснишь. Значит, тебе уже все известно.
I know bits and pieces,
Я знаю далеко
but
не
I
все.
had no
И
idea
я не
Moalani
ожидал,
was
что
also
Муалани
part of
тоже
the
окажется
plan.
частью плана.
This sounds like something that's going to need a
Видимо,
lot
нам
of
предстоит
explaining.
многое
Let's
узнать.
focus on saving the
Но
Wyatt
сейчас нужно
first.
спасти Вая. Эти как будто дают, а этот забирает.
Okay, that should be
Вот так,
enough.
хорошо. Вая. Вая, ты меня
I
слышишь?
hear your voice,
Я слышу твой
Kachina,
голос, Качина.
my dear
Дитя
child.
мое.
Great. Well then,
Прости меня,
I'm
Вая.
afraid it's
Не
time to
успели
say
поздороваться,
goodbye.
как уже пора
I just wanted
прощаться.
to make sure you were
Но
okay
нельзя здесь
before we leave.
задерживаться.
But I was going to
Вообще,
ask
я хотел
why you
спросить, почему
bestowed
ты
an
решил
ancient
доверить
name
мне
upon
древнее
someone
имя?
like me.
Ну ладно.
But it's okay. I'll keep searching
Я
within
пробую найти
myself
ответ
for the
своими
answer.
силами. Я буду
I'll never
наращивать
stop
силу, и
trying to
однажды
improve
стану
my
настоящей
strength.
героиней, достойной
One
древнего
day,
имени.
I'll look.
You are already
Качина,
an
для меня ты
outstanding
самое
child in
замечательное,
my
что бы ни
eyes,
случилось.
Kachina. You are all my
Вы все
most
мои любимые
beloved
дети.
children.
И
It has
меня
always
всегда
been
была
my
честь
honor to
родить вас и
protect
защищать.
and nurture you. Your ancient
А
name
древнее
is
имя
just that.
всего
A
лишь имя,
name.
которое я для тебя
Much
выбрала.
like your parents
Не
chose to
ищи в
name
нем
you
сокровенного
Kachina,
смысла.
I also gave
Все
you a
равно, как
name,
имя
but it
Качина,
need not
которым нарекли
define
тебя
you.
родители.
Focus on who
Просто
you
будь
want
собой.
to be.
Ты уже достойна своего имени,
You
не
are
должна лезть
already
из кожи
worthy
вон,
of your
чтобы
name.
стать его славной
Now, you
носительницей.
need only the story of your
Эй,
ancient name
ты
is for
сама
you
напишешь
to
новую историю
continue.
своего древнего имени.
Just like your
И
parents,
что бы ни
my
случилось,
love for you
моя любовь
will
к тебе не
never
ослабеет,
change.
как
No
и
matter
любовь твоих
what
родителей.
the future holds.
Спасибо, Вая.
It gladdens me to see
Я
the
рада видеть, что вы
Pyro
еще
Archon's
на
plan
шаг
move another step
впереди
towards
осуществления
completion.
плана
But it
Пирохонта.
is time for you
Но вам
to
пора
leave this
уходить.
place.
Здесь становится все
The situation
опаснее.
go now, my children.
Идите, дети мои.
Save Natlan on
Спасите
behalf
Натлан
of
ради
all you
всех, кто
hold
вам
dear.
дорог.
I know we've never met before,
Вая,
Wyatt,
я знаю, мы никогда не
but I just
встречались,
wanted to say
но я хотела сказать
thank you for encouraging
спасибо.
Kachina.
Твои слова подарили
It was
Качине
exactly
веру
what
в
she
свои
needed.
силы.
Whoa, what's going on?
Что происходит? Это землетрясение?
We're out of time.
У нас нет времени.
It's the power of the abyss.
Сила бездны. Скорее, бежим. Беги. Это фея. Фея открыла нам путь. Так. Беги пока, молодой. Давай, 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 топай, топай. Боже. Извиняюсь. Боже. Ай, Банников. Лестница небо закрывается. Нужно торопиться, иначе мы здесь застрянем. Никто здесь не застрянет в мою смену. Берегитесь падающих камней. Сюда, по центру. Ну-ка, быстрее. Не успеем. Давай. Опа. Нифига.
You've done well.
Вы хорошо справились.
Now come home.
Возвращайтесь. Так, стоп. Мы вернулись.
The Pyro Archon
Пирархон спасла нас. Но ее здесь нет. И как она вернула себе силу? Да, она и говорила, что потратила всю свою силу. Она до сих пор в палате советников. В царстве ночи мы видели только ее сознание. Ты хочешь сказать, она проделала человека одним созданием? Знание? За силу всегда приходится чем-то платить. Тебе очень плохо, Качина. Подержись немного, скоро все пройдет. Давайте вернемся на стадион священного пламени, полагая нас. Пирархон говорил, что предупредить доктора. Да, все должны пройти полный осмотр, чтобы скрытые проблемы. Пайман отлично себя чувствует, а ты тоже придется один. И я тоже. Конечно, тебе сила деда вообще не страшна. Итак, еще нам нужно рассказать обо всем, что мы узнали в царстве ночи. Да, Вая упоминала про план Пирархонта. Что это за план? Она вам все объяснит. Теперь мы тоже стали частью плана. Каждый наш поступок так или иначе влияет на дальнейшую судьбу Натлана. Итак, мы продолжаем. Понял. Меня сия мимо. Найдите Мабуику. Так, куда все подевалось? Я очень рад, что мы вернулись, что вы вернулись. Целыми и невредимыми. Знаю, у вас много вопросов, но сначала пусть Куичи вас осмотрит. Получи возможное воздействие человека. Все, пока.
Thank goodness you made it back. I came here as soon as the Pyro Archon told me about your plan. Take a seat, everybody. I'll examine you one by one.
Ваш отряд пробовал в царстве ночи недолго, умалывание человек. Человек обнаружит признак заверения силы бездны. Продолжение ваше.
All right, that should do it for now. But just to be safe, I'll perform another checkup in a couple of days. I have to say, though, I've never seen anyone react to the Abyss like you, Traveler. It's like you're completely immune to its...
He always has been special like that. He can even purify its power. Wait, now that you mention it, Paimon doesn't think she's affected either.
Given the current situation, that ability will likely play a great role in the events to come.
Of course. I still have patients to see, so I'll head out.
Thank you, Koichi.
All right, all right. We might not see eye to eye, but we both have to just give it time. I'm sure we'll figure...
Yeah.
All right. There's so much to discuss, I don't even know where to begin. You've seen it for yourselves now. The devastation in the Night Kingdom. I'll get straight to the point. Natlan is on the verge of destruction. It's very possible our nation has less than—
Huh? No. That can't be true, can it?
That's right. But I've only ever disclosed that fact to the handful of people working with me to save this nation. Our looming destruction is not a recent development. but the inevitable conclusion of the disaster the Abyss initiated 500 years ago.
Mulan told us a little bit about that.
500 years ago, all the nations of Teyvat were invaded by the Abyss. Unlike the other nations, Natlan never had stable and deep-rooted ley lines, so we suffered the worst of the invasion. The battle against the Abyss was exceedingly long and brutal. In the end, victory came at the cost of our civilization and countless lives. Even then, it took centuries of solving the disasters caused by the Abyss to finally achieve the peace we know today. And still, this is but a superficial victory. The forces of the Abyss have merely been driven back underground. Their threat to Natlan remains as real as ever.
I'd never have guessed.
The problems plaguing the Night Kingdom are all the more complicated because that realm is essentially functioning as Natlan's ley lines. Immediately after the war, our calculations estimated that we would have a maximum of 500 years before the Night Kingdom was completely lost to the Abyss. But at that time, we were a nation of the destitute. Our people no longer believed in victory, nor did they hold hope for the future. Our civilization was dying, our faith crumbling, and the line of power passed down from the Wayab nearly severed. If we didn't bring the nation back together, it would be foolish to even dream of defeating the Abyss in the future. So, the Archon had a long and involved discussion with the heroes of each tribe, and finally came up with a 500-year-long plan to save Natlan.
So that's what happened. After finding Kachina, I encountered a strange figure who gave me a series of new memories. Since the plan was mentioned in those memories, I guess I've been chosen to play an important role in it. But there's still something I don't understand. Those memories showed me the Pyro Archon from back then. And it was you.
Huh? But that doesn't make any sense! The Pyro Archon is supposed to be human.
That's right. The hardest thing for humans to overcome has always been time. A god can extend a human's life by using a certain amount of divine power, or subjecting them to a curse. But, as we all know, Natlan doesn't have gods like that. A human life is like a flame destined to be extinguished. 500 years ago, I placed my life within the sacred flame. Only by dying before my time could I have the chance to wake up again.
So, in other words, this is your second life?
Yes. We only managed to defeat the Abyss all those years ago because the tribes came together. If the Natlan of the future was to have a fighting chance, the Pyro Archons that came after the war had to rebuild the decimated tribes. The goal was to reunite the people and restore the strength of...
Извиняюсь.
Once a tribe was back to its full strength, the tribe's Wayab would select a hero, indicating the tribe was once again ready for war. The Chosen would then stand by my side in defense of our nation, just like great heroes of old, 500 years ago.
So that means I'm one of the Chosen?
That's right. You bear the ancient name Umoja, the same one held by the hero from your tribe 500 years ago. It means unity. After your adventure in the Night Kingdom, I trust you've come to fully understand the meaning of that.
So in other words, you always knew who the Wayab were going to pick?
Yes. According to the plan, each tribe was supposed to have been fully restored by the time I awoke. But something went wrong along. The 6 heroes successfully inherited the ancient names from 500 years ago. Once again, it comes down to the deterioration of the Night Kingdom. Communication between the 6...
Just like how the Ode of Resurrection failed to bring Kachina back.
Exactly. It's just another tactic the Abyss is using against us. If we want to unblock that information from being passed on, my presence alone isn't enough. The ancient name-bearer must establish a greater connection to their name. So, I've tried my best to help them from the sidelines. Currently, Shilonin of the Children of Echoes, Kinich of the Scions of the Canopy, and Iansan of the Collective of Plenty have all been acknowledged by their names. During your adventure, you too earned the acknowledgement of your Wayab Mualani. In the process, you gained the memories stored within your name.
But we have less than a year!
Yes, but we have no choice. We cannot start the plan until all the heroes have been... That's also why I haven't been able to take action despite the urgency.
But if you knew this whole time, why didn't you just tell me about my role in all this?
Perhaps, but the opposite could also be true. Knowing your destiny too early could mean failing to realize your full potential. Just like your determination to save Kachina, I hope your commitment to this endeavor comes from your own strength of will.
So I suppose you're not going to tell us who the final two heroes are then?
That's right. Their time is yet to come. Putting pressure on them beforehand will only hinder their development. I can only trust in the judgment of the Wayab. I have never believed I could solve this crisis alone. In fact, it was precisely because I chose to trust and rely on others that we managed to get this far. Natlan's salvation lies not in its Archon or any singular individual, but in us all. You're quite perceptive, aren't you? I thought I might get away with avoiding the topic.
Huh? Oh, right! All the stuff you stored here before, where did it—
Even though I sacrificed my power, I still needed a contingency plan to ensure you would make. After all, I was the one who allowed you to take that risk, and Mualani has an important role to play in my plan. In addition to their sentimental value, the items I stored here held a much more important purpose.
Fuel? So back then, that's...
Yes. The stories embodied by those items are certainly important, but there's an even more significant trait they all share. Over time, they became imbued with a certain amount of contending fire from being carried in battle. On their own, each item's power is limited, but together, their combined effect can prove quite useful. By burning those items, I was able to activate the content. It was a rather crude approach, so all their power was depleted in an instant, as you can see.
But aren't they all precious treasures? What about their story?
That's exactly why I dragged you all here. No matter what, I never wanted the Pyro Archon to have to use that power. Oh, I'm so sorry.
You have nothing to be sorry for. You all deserve my thanks, actually. If you hadn't saved the totem pole, that area of the Night Kingdom would have been forever lost to the... And then, it would only be a matter of time before the Children of Echoes was... Besides, when those heroes entrusted their belongings to me, or the Pyro Archon of their time, it was out of a desire to if they knew those items helped save the present-day heroes of Natlan, they would...
Even when you put it that way, I still feel bad.
There's no need. Remember what I told you about time? The people and the events of the past are never truly lost to us. We simply carry them with us in a different form. If you still have regrets, let them fuel your resolve in the battles to come. Your deeds will become new legends and nurture new forms of power just like the items once stored here.
Well, we'd still like to return the favor.
Well, if that's the case, just treat me to a drink sometime. Now that Kachina has returned, we can finally hold the victory feast and celebrate your team's triumph in the Night Ward, and we could all use the rest, that's for sure. Plus, you'll be able to silence everyone who doubted you once and for all, Kachina.
Still, now that I know the danger we're facing, having a victory feast doesn't feel right.
Try not to let it get to you. It's important to stay calm. All right, you should head out.
When I was young, I used to sit by the hot springs and listen to the stories of warriors from all... They attract people from all walks of life. Friends come easy here, no matter what tribe you're from. The people of the Springs have never claimed the hot springs as their own private property. They are there to bring all hot spring buddies together. It's been really nice, seeing the children of my tribe get older. It's helped me gradually understand the true value of the springs. I've witnessed their energy, their determination, their absolute passion for life. Even when they cause trouble, I never managed to hold on to my anger for long. It's unbelievable how quickly they worm their way back into my good graces. I'm certain Mualani will become a great warrior when she grows up. She possesses infinite potential. I can see it. One day, when I'm no longer in fighting form, I'll come here and tell stories to all the children, just like those warriors did for me. So, you better get busy, Pyro Archon, or I'll end up running out of stories.
Our nation is engulfed in darkness. Our tribes stand divided, and yet you promise victory in the distant future. The Abyss is a cunning enemy, one that I faced in battle many times. My rage will never know absolution, and my power will no longer aid you in victory. But you came to me because you knew you could convince me with just I understand your choice. The heroes of today will forge the path ahead with blood and fire. Just remember to earn us the victory we are owed. Otherwise, rest assured, I'll find a way to collect the debt. For Natlan.
So, you're gonna head 500 years in the future to serve as the Pyro Archon again? But what about the you from right now? You're just gonna...
You can't ask her those questions and expect her to answer, my dear. The decision... We will do everything we can to rebuild the tribes. Don't you worry. Even across time, we will all do our part to fight for Natlan's future.
Yeah, Mom's right. We'll always believe in you, sis. Oh, seriously though, Dad should be here. Where?
I imagine he didn't know what to say, so he chose not to come at all. Just remember, no matter what happens in the future, we will always love you.
I'll come find you one day. I know I can't live that long, but I'll think of something. There has to be a way for us to meet again one day. If there's an answer out there somewhere, I'm gonna find it. So, don't forget about me.
If that's your decision, then you have my full support, Archon.
May our children live to see such a lovely son.
For Natlan!
No one fights alone.
The rules are my legacy. They shall grant us the strength to overcome the next tragedy.
War forged the 6 tribes, taught us how to fight, instilled in us what it means to love.
Who will be the one to bring this to an end?
We are the inheritors of memory and legend. Those who grew alongside sun and wind. Those who forged our own destiny and future. That is Natlan's fire, the lifeblood of our nation.
Как говорил Маланя, прям праздновать вообще как-то уже не хочется. Нам надо отправиться на праздник.
Hey, Koichi! You here for the victory feast too?
Oh, no. I knew Chaska would be here, so I just came to deliver some medicine. I was about to leave, actually. But it's not that I don't want to celebrate Kachina and the others. I'm so glad she made it back. It's just... well, I'll make things awkward if I'm around my sister right now.
Ah, well, you two...
She didn't cause any trouble during your trip, right?
Yeah, she was super helpful. She gave us a lot of useful information.
That's good. That's all I needed to know.
Is there a reason you asked? You were pretty outspoken when we first met, but now it's like you're holding something back.
Maybe it seemed unreasonable, picking that fight with her before you left, but I did it. Her impulse to fight is extremely strong. Her mental strength helps her rein it in, but she still loses control sometimes.
So what you're saying is...
Okay, so maybe it sounds a little stupid, but it works pretty well. It helps her keep... Anyway, I'm just glad you were able to make it back safe and sound. That's all I wanted.
But do you really have to go that far? Can't you just...
No way. Chaska never opens up about her own pain, especially to her family. She can't learn about this, or it'll be even harder to help her. I appreciate the understanding, and don't worry. I'll find a way to help her ease this burden. Anyway, I need to get going. Oh, and if you ever need a doctor, you know who to find.
Huh. Who would have thought there was a deeper reason behind their arguing? In the end, it's all the Abyss's fault. Paimon's had enough of this.
Ого, как отплясывает.
Let's give a huge round of applause to our brave young warrior, Kachina!
Woohoo! Well done, Kachina. Thank you, everyone.
I always knew you could do it. With so much potential at your age, you have a great future ahead of you.
You're one to talk. Don't think I didn't know you were the first person to abandon your team. I'll be dealing with you when we get back.
I had no choice. My friend invited me. I couldn't just say no.
Oh, really? So you weren't just trying to get ahead in the first round?
I wasn't, I swear. I just happened to find that bearer injured in the wild. So I stopped to bandage his wound. When he insisted on repaying the favor, what was I supposed to do? I'm just one person. I figured Kachina would have no trouble replacing me.
But the fact of the matter is that after your departure, everyone else started thinking about swapping teams.
I'm really sorry, Kachina. It was wrong of us to abandon you like that.
It's amazing that you still made it all the way through to the Night Warden Wars. That's the highest honor.
So, what up?
Our team captain drank too much the night before the competition and turned up late to the stadium on the day.
We got...
Serves you all right.
Alright. There's no need to be, dear friends. Firstly, I'm grateful to my friends and our great Archon for helping to bring me back. This traveler and his companion Paimon are some of the strongest people I've ever met. If they've agreed to let me learn from them. With their help, I believe I can become... And let's not forget my good friends, Moalani, Chaska, Kanich, and Ayan-san. They all helped the traveler and Paimon figure out they too deserve to be called our heroes. So, please give another round of applause for them. Thank you so much.
Well said!
I'll drink to that.
How does it feel being a hero, Kachina?
To be honest, it's a bit overwhelming. Well, you better get used to it. Next up, undefeated champion! Hey, please don't make fun of me.
Ah, you're here. Have some fruit juice. I got it specially for you two.
How did you know? That's Paimon's favorite!
You look like you've still got questions. Ask away. Because they had their own lives to live. The thought of telling them, abandon your families and everyone you love, and come with me to the end of time, for in 500 years Natlan will be destroyed. You could just as easily point out that everything in this world would come to an end eventually. Imagine if I said, let's leave right now, and go save the sun because it'll flame out in a few million years. It would sound quite ridiculous. I couldn't make them shoulder that burden with me. Besides, every generation will have its heroes, this one included. The plan could still work without them, or, of course, without me. But since I was the one who came up with the plan, I felt duty-bound to see it through to the end.
Paimon's suddenly remembering that portrait in your room. Was that your family from back then?
Yes, it was. So when you asked me who my sister grew up to be, from what I've been able to piece together, I can conclude with a reasonable degree of confidence that she played an instrumental role in rebuilding the scions of the Canopy tribe, designing and building many houses. Still, it was an impressive achievement, and I'm very proud of her. You feel loss keenly. It seems to stir up feelings of regret in you. This is a war, and there can be no war without loss. I am already far more fortunate than those who lost their lives to the Abyss. The people of Natlan look to me as their Archon, and the weight of their expectations is mine to bear. I must see our fate through to the very end, no matter what I may find there.
Yeah, doesn't that mean the way everything ends has already been written, including...
I suppose, but so what? Don't forget, time takes many forms. The past, present, and future coexist, and all are equally important. Even if the future ends in destruction, there's still no reason to get... And it's precisely because we humans cannot know our fate that we will never... This is a pivotal moment. We are still 2 heroes short. Well, 3, to be precise. There's one further hero who I'm hoping to get on my side, whatever it takes. Your resistance to the corrupting power of the Abyss is truly remarkable. It would easily make you... If you agree to join us, you will not only gain my full support in your journey, but I will also forge a brand new ancient name for...
Ancient names can be forged?
They can. Several strict conditions must be met, but if they couldn't be forged at all, then possessing an ancient name would mean that your adventures in Natlan are recorded in full. The Ode of Resurrection may have temporarily lost its power, but still. Take this as my personal guarantee. Just like in the Night Kingdom, I will be there for you. That is a promise I will fulfill at all costs. This nation always honors its heroes.
Yeah, we can't just ignore the situation here.
Wonderful. Then I'll reach out to Shilonen right away. She's the... We've never forged an ancient name for an Outlander before, but I trust she'll find a way.
Ура!
My lord, we've received word that the Pyro Archon has lost much of her power. Although your injury complicates things, this is most certainly the opportune time to seize...
Victory and defeat are rules, not outcomes. I have never taken advantage of an opponent in a time of weakness. As for you, I must confess, I did not expect that little trick of yours to save the day.
No matter how dense the fog, as long as the sun remains, we cannot turn day into night. You don't have much time, and you're injured on top of that.
I'm beginning to see just how useful you may turn out to be. You heard something from here, didn't you?
Так. Ура! Наконец-то мы выполнили, что? На этом все. Пишите комментарии, ставьте лайки, хотя подождем. Вот. Забираем 500 гемов. Итак, на этом все. Пишите комментарии, ставьте лайки. С вами был я, Артур 391. И прохождение сюжетной линии Натлана версии 5.0. Еще раз всем спасибо, всем удачи и всем пока! Спасибо за просмотр.
Staring into my eyes is ill.